And I remember when that was happening, I was like, wow, what the shit? Maybe think before you talk, because that's not quite common sense anymore nowadays on the internet. So like, but she was being like flirty with Min Hee-jin. He was like,
Oh my god, can you like crush on Aespa?
and she's like, ding ding. Welcome, you're right on time for Delulu Hour. As the name entails, Delulu Hour is the podcast where I yap for however long about life, pop culture, anime, and of course, K-pop, all with a hint of spice and a crap ton of delusion. My name is Kevin, and I am the main host of the show. Hey everyone! Oh my god, yes the nan. Okay, you're wondering who I am for Halloween beat? It's me. I'm New Jeans. I am a member from New Jeans. I don't know who. I'm just New Jeans, period. Okay. This is just oh my god look. Yes, I was debating this or G Idol's wife, but I don't got a turquoise bob, so we're rolling with this. All right. So it's been a hot minute since I've posted a podcast. I think the last podcast that I did was in September or like I'm pretty sure September, not even October, but I think it took like over a month break from the podcast. And you're probably wondering what you've been doing, what you've been up to, why you're so inconsistent with your uploading. And I'm going to answer all those questions today, as well as talk a little bit about, the main topic of the show, of this episode, which is the whole Seunghan situation with RIIZE. But let's debrief first. So what's been up with my life? So October is almost over, and the day that I'm filming this, I'm actually filming this on Halloween. So depending on when this comes up, maybe it'll come up later today after I edit this and film it, or it'll come like much later on. So if you guys are watching this on Halloween, or you guys are watching this on Halloween or either after Halloween. How was Halloween for you guys? What did you dress up as? Do you guys still go trick-or-treating? Or that kind of stuff. Actually, now that I say that, when did you guys stop trick-or-treating? Because I think I stopped trick-or-treating around the age of 12 or 13. I live here in Canada, so trick-or-treating is not always the best experience. It's such a toss-up. It's either raining, it's super cold, or it's perfectly fine outside. But most of the time, it's okay. There's some rare occasion where some creepy man is gonna run up and kill you, or or you're just gonna get home with a bunch of candy. I remember trick-or-treating days. It was so exhausting. I think didn't have a smartwatch or anything like that back then, right? But I was hitting those 20K steps on the Halloween day. Let me tell you that right now, bitch. And also Halloween during school days is also fun as shit because you got not only just snacks from every single teacher you stop by, unless they're not in the Halloween spirit, which boo you. You get these goodies. And I'm pretty sure this is only when you're grade 1 to 6, but you get these goodie bags filled with chocolate and stuff like that. Oh, I missed that time. But now I'm 22, I'm old, I'm deteriorating, and now I just have to go buy my candy at a local grocery store for $10. But that's not the same, you know what I mean? Bring back Halloween trick-or-treating for adults. Who's gonna stop us? Exactly. The adults that were banging on the door. They're gonna be like, hi, you look a little bit too old to trick-or-treating. And then I'm gonna be like, yeah, but I'm 12 years old. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, what I've been up to. So actually, I've been really focused on just taking a break from the podcast because I think after yapping for so long, I've realized that yapping alone is already pretty hard. But then needing to edit that on my own, rewatching the podcast 5 times to make sure I cut out anything that's bad, and also cutting the dead spaces. But as I'm watching more and more, during the break, I watched more and more podcasts, such as Pokemon's podcast with Lily Pichu, her Don't Tell Anyone podcast. I've watched Trash Talk. What was the other one? H3 Production. That one. There's one more that is slipping my mind right now. But either way, what I'm trying to get at is that all those podcasts are like not superly super edited, right? They're just talk, 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 blah, 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 yap, yap, yap. And like not too many cuts are made, only cuts when necessary. And that's what I'm trying to do for my podcast. But, as a single person filming and recording, it's really hard because sometimes I just go on these complete like blank. I just stare into the camera and just wondering like, oh, what was I talking about? Or wondering how do I make this engaging? And I don't have a guest with me, so I can't like banter back and forth with someone. It'll be a lot easier if I had someone, but with me being a solo host and all my friends are usually busy with their other stuff, it's hard to get someone on the podcast, let alone getting a whole second host to do this with, especially since like the setup that I got going on right now, it's hard to move that around. We don't have a set studio location to film it, so that's why all my podcasts that have guests on have been through Discord. But obviously with that, there's kind of a disconnect. So, I'm trying things out, We're going into episode 8 strong. We're gonna hope that I stick more consistently with my uploading schedule. Like, I started off like thinking, oh, I want to do like one podcast every week. Girl, no, there's only so much you can yap about. And I'm realizing that now after yapping for so long, a girly just ran out of things to yap about unless it's about like drama. But I don't want this podcast to be solely about drama. What, even though it literally has been for like the past few episodes. Like, oh my god, HYBE is feeding me drama so much, and I'm eating it up because this drama is crazy. Okay, but before we get into that, like another thing I've done is been editing my New York vlog. I'm sure you guys watched my Vancouver vlog by now, and thank you for enjoying it. And also had another video uploaded like I think 2-3 weeks ago, which was like a TFT kind of gameplay thing, which that was super fun to edit because I love my memes, and editing that was so funny. There was like one commenter that was like, oh, I didn't know TFT could be so fun, and shout out to you for saying that, because thank you. You've given me more encouragement and yes, to keep editing those kinds of videos. So I will keep trying to do that in the future. Thank you. And I also uploaded a couple shorts. And by a couple, I mean 2. And one of them was literally just from a TFT video, but the other one was from there was a Honkai Star Rail event, HSR event nearby where I live. And it's like for a Sakoshi Mart thing. And I was like, oh yes, I've been waiting for so long for Sakoshi Mart to drop a Honkai collab. I was like, yes, give it to me. So there was a whole mural thing of Dan Heng there, and I took so many photos. I was standing in front of him, staring at him the entire time I was in the store, and a girlie dropped about $100 on that day. So period. Sorry. And I also went to the ROM, the Royal Ontario Museum. I think that's what it abbreviates to, with a couple friends during their reading week. Sorry. And that was fun too. I don't know what I'm going to do with that video because it's just vlog footage of me going around in the museum. So I don't know if that's like interesting. Like maybe I'll just turn it into a short, but for now, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So yeah. So those mini vlogs will come out, and the New York vlog will come out hopefully by the end of this or next week. It's probably going to be end of next week because I know for a fact I'm going to procrastinate so hard. And yeah, just in general, I don't know. Maybe I seem more bright right now. That's because I have a light in front of me now. But brighter in personality wise, I feel a lot more energized to talk, and like, yeah, just more in general energized because I've been watching other podcasts, and I'm just like, oh, I'm inspired now to make content again. So that's always good to hear, right? Period. And of course, how are you guys doing? It's been a crazy October. I know if you're living in the States, you're probably going through a whole election dilemma right now because I think election is in 2 weeks. Let me know who you guys like are voting for. I'm curious because as a Canadian, I'm like, ooh, watching the shit that goes down there. I'm like, get my popcorn, and I'm just watching. For me, obviously, maybe I shouldn't say it. Maybe I shouldn't say it, but I think judging on my personality, you guys probably know who I would vote for if I was in the States, but that's not my business. Not my business. All I gotta say though, that picture of Trump working at McDonald's, iconic, period. Like, great marketing. And I think earlier today as well, I saw him working as a trash can. Sorry, trash can. As a trash disposal person. So also iconic, period. Like, but okay, generally though, he's not period. Like, so yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. If you're watching this video, you probably clicked on the fact that Seunghan is probably in the thumbnail somewhere, but yes. So if you're living under a rock or not in the K-pop space, then you would know that Seunghan from the boy group RIIZE, who is a SM boy group, recently came back into the boy group, and then 2 days later, literally got kicked out. I was shook to my core. To give more context, pretty much 10 months ago, there was a whole scandal about him having a life. Lol. He had photos of him and his supposed ex-girlfriend at the time, photos of him smoking, and also there was like a live stream of him streaming with like Subin and some other people that was like on his private Instagram, but then that got leaked, so that was like a whole probably Among Us situation for him, for like to be like, oh, who leaked that, and who like recorded that in the first place. So a lot of things were going on with him, and it was obviously an invasion of his privacy, right? Because those are things from his past. That's his private Instagram that got leaked. And I just remember to mention, in that leak, they were talking about Eunchae, which is a girl from the Seraphim. And apparently he was like bad mouthing her, quote unquote, because I don't know, like he just said in Korean they say something like, oh, this is our Eunchae. It's like, oh, like our Eunchae is doing so well, because she was the MC of Music Bank at the time, so they were saying like, oh, like she's doing so well in that kind of way. But in Korean, it's kind of weird when you say like our Eunchae, because like, what do you mean our Eunchae? Like she's not yours, Even in English, it sounds weird, but translated, it's even weirder. But that caused like a whole debacle. Like you got Le Seraphim fans attacking him. You got his general like fangirls attacking him, maybe antis, for having a girlfriend, and you have the general netizen public trashing him because he was smoking, and pretty much like going in a spiral of these three accusations, just being like, you're such a shit human being, like I don't want you in RIIZE anymore, like SM kicked them out, So that was going on 10 months ago, like earlier this year. And I remember when that was happening, I was like, wow, what the shit? At first I was like, like maybe he needs to go on hiatus for a bit, get things settled privately to make sure like, the people who leak this stuff, like gets what they deserve, or like not get what they deserve, but he figures this out so like he could get closure with them. So that was crazy. And now looking at it now, this happened like 2 weeks ago now. And, he was excited to finally come back. SM Entertainment announced his comeback to the group. And then even Wonbin, another member of RIIZE, was exclaiming how excited they were for his return on, I think, Weverse. He posted it. When I heard he was coming back, I'm not like a fan of RIIZE or anything. I just know of them because they're an SM boy group, and this Seunghan situation blew up so much 10 months ago that I was like, this drama put them on the radar for me, which is weird, right? But I guess that's what drama does, right? You get clicks and shit. And so my initial reaction to him coming back was like, oh, like I'm glad he's back. I'm sure like the members missed him, because me, like my ultimate bias group is G-idol, right? And unfortunately G-idol lost a member through bullying accusations, which again, I'll reiterate accusations, right? Because there's no, even like the judge when Soojin got kicked out and like doing the legal stuff, it was like not guilty, right? So they have no way to prove it was wrong or not, or if it happened or not. And then it also happened to Hyunjin from Stray Kids. I saw that happening. Leah, Itzy, of course, Wonyoung and Jennie, like the general kind of hate. And more recently, Suga, right, with the whole DTI thing that happened. And of course, Goram from the Seraphim. So being a K-pop stan for a while now, and I'm sure like there's many more. I've seen a lot of members like receive a lot of hate, one-sided hate, I would should say, from fans who like want like justice or something, but it's weird, man. The fan culture is weird. So I was like, oh, like back to my point, right? I was like, oh, he's coming back. That's so amazing. OT7, good job for them. They survived the 10 months without him, and now he's coming back. So obviously, even though I was not a fan, I was rejoiced and happy for them because that's a member that they cherish a lot. But I wasn't like super like into the know of what was going on behind the scenes or how these netizens felt. So, oh my god, it was crazy when he came back. I never seen my Twitter feed so like crazy about a K-pop idol for a while now, right? But within the 2 days that he came back, right? Like Korean netizens and maybe like OT6 international stands were like sending him so much hate. Just like, this is a shit human being. Like, they're trash. They're like not a role model. They had a girlfriend, like they smoked. How can you like have someone like this as a K-pop idol? They're not perfect in my eyes, right? That whole bullshit, right? And I was taken aback. I was like, how are you gonna like scrutinize someone for having a life, girly? Like, idol or not, like that's still a human being. They're allowed to have partners. They're allowed to like go through phases in their life. And yeah, like I don't condone smoking or anything, but it's not like that happened during when he was an actual idol. Like that was all pre-debut stuff. So like when you become an idol, you have to like I guess sacrifice some things. Yeah, you have to sacrifice your freedom. You have to sacrifice your like freedom of choice, right? Because obviously, since you're in the public eye, there's some things you can't do, some things you can't say, and obviously that's fine, right? But if this is stuff happening before they actually debut, and like it doesn't change them in any way. Like if they weren't an idol, if they weren't an idol, they were gonna be most likely doing that, right? Like if they, how do I say this? Like even if it pisses people off, like and lose sales, like the industry and like these idols need to like stand up for themselves more. And I know like the idols probably want to stand up for themselves, but obviously it's their company. But that's why I'm saying like there needs to be a mindset change, like a mindset shift, so that we don't let these toxic fans just get away with bullying a member, which is so ironic because they're the ones saying that like you can't bully as an idol, like how can you bully, and then they're doing the same thing to the idol, like to the next person. Like how does that make any sense? Okay, take a breath. Yeah, calm down. And then while that was happening, some the haters sent them death wreaths to the SM Entertainment building. So, and if you don't know what death wreaths are, and I'm butchering that, I'm so sorry. Like that, death wreaths. I'm sorry. Do you guys also have like a thick tongue? Yeah, I said that. You heard that right. A thick tongue. I feel like I always choke on my words so easily because my tongue is so much bigger than the average person that like it gets in the way when I'm talking. Or maybe it's like how my teeth are arranged. So I like stuttle on my stuttle. I stumble on my words a lot. Yes, there we go. Okay, sorry. But I think maybe I'm just trying to talk too fast, so I'll try to calm down. So yeah, they got sent death wreaths to the SM Entertainment building, and these death wreaths, there were the same death wreaths that Suga received when he got the DTI case. But pretty much saying like, SM, like, Seunghan is dead to us. Usually you send these death wreaths to someone who's like to a funeral, right? But they're sending this to like an idol to like protest, which is absolutely crazy. Absolutely kooky crazy. So Seunghan eventually got kicked out, or maybe he left because of the hate he was receiving. There was a hashtag following him getting kicked out that was like, I think it was like over 1 million hashtags on TikTok for that. And it's been a while since I've seen that, like in the K-pop space, right? Pretty much asking SM, like, SM, you support bullies, bullies referring to like the people bullying Seunghan. They were saying SM is coward, they support whatever, they support OT6. And like OT7 should be what it is initially, like they'll boycott SM, boycott RIIZE as a group if they don't bring Seunghan back, right? So that was crazy as well. There was even like a petition going on. I think that got over 1 million signatures. That's also kooky crazy. I remember, I keep referring to Sujin's case, right? Because I was super in that, but I remember Sujin's petition, I think that got like 300K or like 500K around there. So that was already like crazy because I didn't know G-Idol had that big of a fan base at the time. We were kind of small, but people really supported. And I wouldn't be surprised if people are just signing for the sake of signing. And also people just don't know, so they're just like, oh, like I want justice for this group, so like they'll sign it like that, right? But either way, like it was kooky crazy. And it got so bad to the point where even Western media outlets were referencing it. I remember seeing the NBC News wrote article title was like, K-pop man has a girlfriend. What's the result? He gets kicked out of the group. And I was yelling. Like literally they summarized that perfectly into 2 sentences. It made me embarrassed to think like, oh my god, this is the K-pop community that it's come to. Like it was always bad, but like this is like, I don't know, this is like even worse. This is like peak cuckoo crazy. I'm like keep referring to Pokimane now. She said cuckoo crazy and now I can't stop saying cuckoo crazy. But yeah, like I don't want to touch on this too much, but I'll wrap up on that. So once again, I'm not like a RIIZE fan or anything, but I certainly feel the weight of these poor fans and like for the group for losing a member. When Sujin left the group, I was so like, I didn't know what to say or like how to react. I just knew in my head like, oh, okay, I need to keep supporting my girls, because I think that's, as fans, whether you're OT6, you're OT7, like doesn't matter. Like you just need to support the boys from now on, because those members, like they worked hard to get where they are today, and if you boycott, like you're just simply invalidating everything that they've worked for. And I know it's like a lose situation, because now you're supporting SM, now you're saying, oh, bullies got what they like asked, they wished for, and like the RIIZE can just keep being a group, right? But I think like that's literally like what they need. If you're gonna do it for Seunghan, like I think Seunghan, Sujin, like all the other people who've been bullied and accused for like just the most insane stuff would want you to continue supporting the boys, supporting the former members, supporting the group as a whole, whether or not a member has left. Because at the end of the day, all of them like worked together so hard as trainees to get where they are, and just because one person like took a hit from whatever it is, like doesn't mean the rest of the group should take a hit as well. And like that is the harsh reality of being a K-pop idol. Like when you're a soloist, then you could just fend for yourself and like make a comeback on your own. But if you're a group, like you have to like weigh in these factors, like, oh, what's gonna happen to the rest of the boys? What's gonna happen to the rest of the group? What's gonna happen to the person who left, right? And then it's like you just have to accept that they're splitting paths, and you know, you could hold on, be delusional to the fact that maybe they'll come back one day, but for now you have to support them. And if you can, then that's fine, right? And I pray for RIIZE's future success, because god damn, this was hard for the RIIZE fans, and it was hard definitely as like an outsider watching in as well. So oop. So another thing that's been going on is actually also this person has Sung in their name, is Seungkwan's whole post about mental health and like what's been going on at HYBE. There's always something going on at HYBE. Okay. But pretty much Seungkwan, a member from 17, spoke up about the whole thing that's going on within HYBE, and also like I feel like he's also referring to all the other things that have been happening in the K-pop industry recently, because I know this RIIZE thing took a big hit for everyone already, but also there was like a whole lot of other stuff going on. So yeah, so on October 29, I think, yes, October 29, Seungkwan took to his Instagram to say a couple of things about what's been going on, and I'm just gonna read that a little bit to you guys right now. He starts off by saying, "I don't want to see people hurting each other anymore. Watching everything that has happened so far, I kept my feelings in check, thinking that somehow it would all pass, and continue to work hard with the members as I always have. However, just watching these situations and hoping the fire would die down is no longer an option. I feel that I can no longer stay silent for all my colleagues who are working hard even at this moment. My fans, my members, my people who are getting hurt. This might seem like meddling to some and like a hasty post to others, but I am mustering up courage. Being a celebrity is a job I chose, and while there are parts I must endure because I receive a lot of love, I don't think it is a job where we have to endure to the point of self-destruction, getting hurt until the brink of death. I just wanted to do my best and show responsibility for the given task to repay the fans who love me and to share the good energy I can give in various ways. So it is true that the burden, the pressure, and the physical and mental fatigue are indescribably immense. Even so, we must carry on at this moment. Some look at rationally, some smile positively, and some, though it is difficult, adapt and somehow endure because we chose it and we have to endure it. But today, that reason feels particularly harsh and cruel." Yeah, so to summarize that, if you weren't paying attention or you're like, what did you mean? He was just saying how, you know, even though being an idol has its ups and downs, and he's grateful for being an idol, you know, because it does have like it does have its very high ups, but it also has its very low downs. And recently, you know, there's been a lot of downs. And giving context to that, like, you know, you might be wondering, like, oh, why did he write all that? Like, just because HYBE is going through shit? Well, the thing is, like, HYBE is going through an audit right now, and their whole thing with that audit is trying to like get more information about, you know, how the company's running, what's going on with HYBE and Adore still, because Minheejin and HYBE are still going back and forth about like being reappointed as CEO and stuff like that. And there's also the whole the result of Minheejin's press conference initially at the earlier this year, with the whole thing saying like, oh, Islet is copying New Jeans, and like Le Sserafim was supposed to like debut later, and also HYBE not approving New Jeans' success and also not liking their success. But in that report, or in that audit that recently came out, there was a whole thing that was called like an industry report, which pretty much is done to analyze what other artists are doing, and that's expected as a company who's trying to compete with like other groups. You know, HYBE is a big competitor, right? And there's also like SM, JYP, YG, you know, other groups doing stuff. So they have to stay on top, right? Because they have to do their research, see what's going on. But the intent of this report was, unfortunately, from what I see, right, is the writer of that report was ultimately like biased, right? So they would say stuff like, like Le Sserafim at Coachella would be like a big boost to their popularity after seeing how Blackpink did it. They were trying to replicate. If Le Sserafim could replicate the success that Blackpink had at Coachella, like they would be fine, right? And it'll be even even better than Blackpink. That's like what the writer wrote. So obviously, a lot of fans, especially, you know, because Blackpink was mentioned, obviously the Blinks will be coming to the forefront of the war going on. So Blinks were super mad. Le Sserafim, like Fearonauts, had to step in as well and be like no, like this is all false. Like this is not what HYBE wrote. This is not what Le Sserafim wrote themselves. This is just like some biased writer. But you know, the Blinks, they're not having that. All the other fandoms involved are not having that either. So because of this report coming out, like HYBE immediately issued a statement saying like oh, this is just an audit, like blah 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 blah, and then they redacted that statement, and then later another statement came out saying like, oh, we apologize for this or something, and it's just this, it's this back and forth, but. Now there's people saying like, oh, like HYBE is such a corrupt agency, like they're ruining K-pop right now, and it's, while I do like see that sentiment, it's a lot of it is just because this is coming out into the air right now. It's getting exposed, and like we don't see what these other companies are doing as well. Like SM is probably shady as fuck. JYP probably has done some shady stuff too. YG probably did some shady stuff too. All these little other agencies, aside from the top four, like they probably done some shady stuff as well. And to put all that blame onto HYBE is obviously wrong, but we should still hold everyone accountable for that. And it's people just say whatever they want to say on Twitter nowadays or on X, just for likes and engagement. It's so toxic. Like if you're watching this right now as like a Twitter user and like you are in the K-pop space, let me just forewarn you, and maybe you already know this, but like I'm just saying this right now, like don't trust anything on Twitter. Like they're not reputable sources. They're not like approved by like moderators or something like Reddit is. People don't get their facts straight. People just post. Like we're literally no different from K-netizens. Like we're all human, and like we all like to just jump on the bandwagon whenever we see what's happening. So that's my advice for y'all. Do your research, get your sources, and also like maybe think before you talk, because that's not really that's not quite common sense anymore nowadays on the internet. So like but also just keep in mind, like if you're an adult and you see someone hating, and like you might think like, oh, like I want to like talk back to them, or like even like, okay, sorry, not just being an adult, like just like you're a child, you're an adult, you're a teenager, or whatever you are, right? And if you see a hate comment, just keep in mind, like if they're hating, and like just let them hate, because if you're not going to respond to them, like they're not going to keep hating. They hate to get engagement, because from what I've seen, like hate comments get the most likes on Twitter, and like that's fine by me. Like if you want to get your engagement, go ahead, but I'm not liking your tweet, I'm not retweeting your tweet, I'm not quote retweeting your tweet, and also I'm not like whatever you said in that tweet, I'm not going to believe you. Like, girl, this is not right. You can hate all you want, but girl, I'm not engaging that shit. And like neither should you. Like The hate is not worth the energy. And I'm doing this podcast right now not to like engage in the hate or anything, but like I'm just trying to give my thoughts and opinions on these haters. Stop hating. But yes, so with all that being said, you know, it's understandable why Seungkwan made that post. That I personally don't know Seungkwan that much. Like I'm not a 17 stan. I'm gonna carrot. I'm sorry. So let me know if you guys are a 17 fan or you guys do know more about 17. Like, is this normal behavior for Seungkwan? Or is this like, wow, like I'm surprised he said that, but like I'm commending him for that. And you know, I'm commending him for that too, because damn, it takes courage to say that as an idol, especially since, you know, 17 is not like big like BTS, Blackpink big, right? So but they still have a platform and like they're using it for hopefully good. Hopefully no one has skewed his message or has hated him because they said that message, because if they did, like that will make me lose my faith in humanity, honestly. If someone who's literally not even involved in the incident just trying to make things better and trying to like give words of like encouragement for people, like positivity, and then they're just bashing on him for that, like you can go fuck yourself. Period. But on a lighter note, who has seen the Halloween couple costume of Min Hee Jin and Bang Si Hyuk? That shit is amazing. I give that. Did I mute myself again? Okay, I give that costume a literal 10 out of 10, because I remember when those text messages first got leaked, it was like Bang Si Hyuk was being like flirty with Min Hee Jin. He was like, "Oh my god, can you like crush on aespa?" And she's like, and like now they're like literally beefing with each other. It's like step down. She's like, "New jeans, eyelet. I'm gonna take over CEO." And sorry, okay, I have my opinions on Min Hee Jin, but like I'm not gonna say them. Oh yeah, maybe I should say them. Spice it up a bit. Okay, honestly speaking, on Min Hee Jin, like I don't know what she's trying to do. Like at first I was on her side, but then nowadays I'm like, she do be kind of manipulative though. But also I don't know what's going on for real, so I'm just like being swayed by like media play right now or whatever's going on. I'm not into it deep, so like I'm literally forming my opinion on like what other people say, which is not good, obviously, but that's why I said I didn't want to share my opinion, but like I'm saying it anyways because that's kind of juicy. The couple costume is really good. I think I remember that her whole like press conference outfit got like sold out on like the first day after thing. Yes, that was super funny. And like the Banshee Hook cosplay is like kind of easy to pull off as well. I think I asked this earlier, but what are you guys going for Halloween? Like if you had to name one K-pop costume, like what would you go as? Like I mentioned earlier, I would do wife as G-idol, but also like this New Jean thing is like such a vibe too. Like all you had to do is like get these bunny ear like hat things. I think I literally got this from AliExpress. And like I just washed it. It was like $10. It came in so slay. And like I literally just put like a baseball cap on like under this, and then now like I'm literally a part of New Jeans. Like HYBE, call me, or Adore, or like whoever is the CEO right now, like call me, and like I'll be the 6 members. Like I'm not from Australian, but like I'm Canadian. I got that poutine, Tim Hortons. Let's go. I got that quirky Canadian side of me. But when I was thinking about this, I was like, oh my god, like K-pop fans are like so creative like that. Like we need more fun, dorky concepts, and like we should just all like go to. Oh my god, I just thought if we had like a K-pop themed Halloween night, that would be so lit. Maybe that already exists because like I'm like a genius, and like but like not really a genius, and like no one has lived an original experience in their entire life. But that would be so good. Like you would just see G at a wife, New Jeans. Like what would you guys like I could see Red Velvet having some like really good cosplays as well. But you know what I mean? Like we need like outfit, beat, bass, dropping, busted down, throw it back, kind of like hot outfit. That's not just like some typical girl crush outfit, like with the black and white and like the leather jeans and stuff like that. We need like a unique looking concept that, like, when I look at this silhouette, this is like, I know what it is already. You know what I mean though? Like, for real. Like, if I took a picture of myself right now, like doing like this, for example, right? And like just a silhouette, and you'd be like, oh, like that's new jeans, right? If I had a bob, then like, it's not just G Idol, right? But there's a lot of concepts where it's like, okay, but no, okay, it had to be like 5 bobs together for G Idol, right? But like if it's just like a singular bob, then like you think, oh, is that Momo from Twice? Okay, like I'm yapping a bit too much right now. Okay, but like, you know what I mean? Okay. Oh my god, like I need, give me more ideas, guys, in the comments, please, because it's like really funny now. But I think that's going to wrap up this episode of the Delulu Hour. We've talked a lot about K-pop mental health recently, and I just need to reiterate, like, if you guys are not feeling well, or you guys like in a dark place, because I know a lot of K-pop fans, like, they might be lonely and not like have no one to talk to, and like they're going to their idol for like, what's that word, like confidence. I know English, guys, trust me. But if you're alone, like, you could talk to me. I'm not a professional, but like, talk to me, and like we could, like, you could even guest on the podcast. Maybe, but don't quote my word on that. But we could have like a therapy session together, or like a Q&A session about life and like how you get to think, how to get through things, how we cope. I think it'll be like a good episode as well. So let me know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments below what you think about Seunghan and Seungkwan. And also let me know what would you go as Halloween if it was a K-pop theme Halloween night. But with that being said, thank you for watching this episode of the podcast. I'm sorry if I yapped a bit too much. I got excited at some points. And also sorry for the audio, because I feel like I've like been touching like my box right here. Like, it has like a knob on it, and like sometimes when it moves, like that knob moves because the wire is touching the knob, and that's literally just a skill issue on my part. But yeah, so like the audio is probably gonna be do this later, and I have to edit all that. Oh my god, why are you giving yourself more work, Kevin? Okay, yeah, thank you for watching this episode or listening to this episode wherever you are. Take care. Remember to answer my questions in the comments. Bye bye. See you guys whenever I next see you. Yo.